Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another brand new episode of Untitled Nonsense. My name is Josh Fauner. I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Sir.
Good evening. I'm all right.
Good. And back this evening, because he was away last week, Mr. Louis Valadez. How are you, sir?
Mr. Bean's doing great. Thank you.
He was sitting here earlier before we started the show, and he was mixing himself a drink, and he poured one thing into the other, and he's stirring it around the glass, and he sounded like how he was looking at the can and how he sounded. He looked like Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean. I guess it's better than being referred to as Pee Wee Herman.
That's true. I mean, at least you're not sitting in the back.
I would do that, though.
I know you would.
I have done that, actually.
Why does it not surprise me to hear
let's
this?
not get another 2-hour episode of this.
Who doesn't have sex in a movie theater? Come on. With themselves or with somebody else?
I've never had sex. I've done stuff, but I've never had sex.
It's fun. It really is. Like, I had an ex-girlfriend, and the only reason I went to Twilight to take her to go see it is, number one, she wanted to see it, but number two, she wasn't wearing any underwear that night. So I figured I was going to get something out of it anyway. That's it. I didn't pay attention to the movie.
I don't care who you are or how horny you are. If I'm paying $10 to see a movie, I'm watching the goddamn movie.
Oh, no.
And you're watching. If I had to pay for you, you're watching it too.
No, I was paying for it, but I just wanted sex out of it. That's it.
That's why I go before noon. It's $4. Nobody's there.
Because if that's my plan, I have Netflix at home and I can pirate movies. So...
Oh, no. Yeah, I know. I agree on pirating movies. I do. But, you know, it had just come out. She wanted to see it. I had no interest, but I'm like, whatever. I got to get something out of this.
What did you think of Twilight?
Hated it.
You're really good.
I'm a, Interview with a Vampire, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Vampire purist.
Yeah, I'm a vampire purist. I can't do Twilight.
Did you read the books at all?
Yes.
You did. Okay. Did you read all of them?
Yes.
Okay, so did I. I read them just to see how fucking bad they were, and because I do shit like that. Like, I'd like to know why I don't like something, not just because it's trendy to not like it, or it's so popular you should not like it, that kind of thing. I want to know why I don't fucking like it. So I watched the High School Musical movies. I read Twilight. Like, I do all this stuff so I can form an educated opinion on why it fucking sucks.
Yeah, you have a reason to say no, I don't like it. No, really, I don't like it. And here's ABC why I don't like it.
You know what I find funny?
What?
Lewis is the gay one, and you're the one educating him on Twilight.
No, I'm not educating him on Twilight at all. He said he read them.
I did.
And you're the one with the synopsis.
Yeah. Hey, mistress. Can you hand me my ashtray, please? Sorry.
And the gentleman does it for her.
Aw.
Wrong century, Josh.
So,
challenging her feminism.
No, I just asked her if she could. She could have said no. I was just asking her if she could.
What's wrong with you? Then we go through this already. Lording your penis over people.
With my white male privilege all over the place.
Your Jewish white male privilege.
My fat white male privilege.
CISE, you sissy.
You cisgender sissy. What's wrong with you?
Die, cis scum.
Death to the hetero white male.
Oh, it sounds so believable coming out of your mouth.
I'm backing up all my homo friends. Sorry.
I guess it's Pride in Orlando this weekend, so that
it really is, and I never go to those.
Really?
So I've never.
From what I understand, like the Brevard Pride that they do here, like everybody has fucked everybody. It's so incestuous.
Of course we have. Are you kidding me? Like there's for a while on Facebook, it was like, because you meet people on certain websites, and then like, oh, do you have a Facebook? Sure. Well, the problem is that you see one person comment, and then you see a bunch of other people that you know of, and you're like, oh shit, we all know each other. And so it's so easy to say, oh yeah, I've been with that guy. Oh, I hate this one. Oh no, I've been that one. It's It's insane. It's insane. Matter of fact, every week the Rainbow Youth meets over at coffee shop at the Sun Shop, and they're looking for people to come out because they're getting ready for Space Coast Pride for next year.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend goes, "Yeah, I used to go." And yeah, there were orgies. That's basically what they are. Just a great way to come in, and
Well, that's great.
and the underage kids won't say anything if you're over 21 and buy the alcohol. They won't say anything that they're sleeping with you. It's okay.
Wow.
Some of them will even lie about their age. I know this guy. He was 14 on Craigslist, and he was telling people he was 18.
I wasn't paying enough attention. What are these orgies called again?
It's a Pride, sir.
I remember living room of Brevard. People would meet, and for a meeting or whatever at someone's house, and then right around 9 or 10, when people start leaving, that's when the people who are left behind start taking off their clothes and start. Yeah, that's when the orgies begin.
Okay.
And where does this happen normally?
Join
orgy?
join any queer group. It's bound to happen.
That an orgy can take
Yeah,
place? Where
I'm
does
probably
this-
gonna get from people who are gay, like, you're just saying we're full of orgies, but it's so true. I can't, I can't think of one gay group that has ever met that
I
nothing
suddenly
happens.
feel really left out. Like being straight, I suddenly feel really left out.
Go in with your open-mindedness. Someone will suck your cock. Someone will open their ass for you. You'll be fine. They're like, oh, you're a cisgender hetero white male. Come here.
I mean, I think I would go to Pride to meet trans girls if there were any around.
America, everybody, we finally reached our peak.
But
America, we're proud to have orgies.
So, Lewis, there was something I was wanting to talk to you about. I have a friend of mine from over in Israel, Sophia, that has been telling me that she's not too fond of the place. And I know that you're educated on what's over there. I was wondering what your opinion on it was.
here we fucking go.
On Israel?
Yeah, especially the Strategic Partnership Act.
There's a reason I'm here in America.
I'm just gonna sit back and let them go. Like the top has been spun. I'm just gonna sit back and watch.
There's a reason I'm here. I really don't feel like walking
Calm down,
around.
Herschel.
Yeah. Watch out, Eichmann. Back off. Back off, Eichmann, okay? We have your number. No.
My last name is Fauner. I have nothing to do with
Listen, you
Jews.
fucker, Eichmann. Don't try and
You
change
can
this.
hide your name, but you can't hide your hook nose.
That's right. You're big uncircumcised. Oh no, circumcised cock. You would be circumcised. Never mind. You're a Jew. You big Jew. So, Josh, I wanted to ask you, since your people have done this, why
So
would
my people? Have,
yeah, why would you ally with the U.S.
Suddenly
with
I'm
the
one of the
strategic
fucking-
alliance?
I'm not.
Your penis says otherwise. You're one of them,
So
Josh.
suddenly, because I'm circumcised. First off, how did you know I was circumcised?
Didn't you tell me?
Did I?
Yeah.
Probably.
Or I must have seen it on Snapchat. All those.
So wait, you had
All
said
those
that there was-
downloads.
So wait, you had said that there was a reason that you were here. Did you used to live in Israel?
Oh no,
Oh,
I wouldn't want to live there.
oh, I see. Okay.
Absolutely not. No, it's like just visiting. But then I'd have to go with like a bomb squad just in case.
Have you ever been?
No, I wanted to years ago, and not anymore.
No.
I've known people who have lived there. I've known people who do business regularly over there.
Just
What
stay
are
off
And
the
I know
buses. You'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
What-
Well, no, and the coffee shops.
Right.
What are their general opinion about it?
Theirs,
Yeah.
it's some people enjoy it, and but it's kind of 50-50. Some people are like, "Yay, Israel," and then the other 50% are like, "I hate it. I think it's one of the most oppressive countries I've ever lived in. I don't appreciate living here. Yeah, it's like you're born and raised to believe that you're gonna die at any moment, so it's forgotten country." And I'm like, "Oh, no different from over here," except without the requirements.
So they really are trying to turn us into them.
And it's just when it comes to politics in Israel, I was right. And Josh, I think you can kind of sympathize with this. When I grew up in the church, it was you weren't a Christian unless you loved Israel.
That's very true. I mean, to a larger extent, not because I was taught that, but I do still support Israel of my own volition.
America's greatest ally, right, Goyam?
The Gentile who said yes.
You guys done with the?
Where's your Levite robe?
You guys done with the anti-Semitism for the night?
This isn't anti-Semitism, Josh. It's truth.
This is truth. I mean, when does speaking truth automatically mean that you're anti something? Like, why does it should be discriminatory? I don't understand. Why are you putting me in that position? I was sitting here
for the conversation before the fucking show. That's how I know it's anti-Semitism.
Hey, that's off the record. You can't bring that into question.
The audience doesn't know. And just because you don't like being called out on your Jewishness doesn't mean it's anti-Semitism.
That'll get thrown out of court. You can't Mel Gibson me.
All hail Mel Gibson, the Fuhrer.
I deserve to be blown before the jacuzzi.
He does, though. He works hard.
He worked hard to crucify that Jew.
Those tapes were fucking hilarious.
You know how it is, Josh. It's not easy being an actor. He deserves to be blown.
It's so easy when you're president. It's more difficult when you're an actor, like especially Mel Gibson.
I don't understand why people say acting is such a hard job. It's fun. Like, you have fun.
Well, yeah, look at you. You're pretending to be a non-Jew this whole time.
What about when you have to act sad, Josh? What about when you have to have the sadness in your heart?
You have to do that method acting. You know, you've really got to believe it.
Method acting is bullshit.
You've really got to believe it.
Acting is fucking bullshit. You're not Lincoln. You're Daniel Day-Lewis. Get the fuck over yourself.
No, see, you're attacking that thespian's creativity, Josh. Is that your Jewishness coming out again?
So you'd say you're not much of a method man.
Are you a meth man?
I'm more of a red man. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. So
I wouldn't live in Israel.
Oh, so you're not done yet. Okay, continue.
No, I'm just saying I wouldn't live there. I just don't like the idea of walking around and worrying about someone shooting at me. Or I mean, I could be mistaken for either Jew or Palestinian the way I look if I was over there. Let's just be honest about this. So I could go either or.
Yeah, you and 100 people around you would be killed at that point.
Yeah. It's like, no, really, I'm on this side. I'm on the East Bank. Now I'm on the West Bank. You know, you kind of got to go back and forth.
So you turn on your cell phone. What's that whistling?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
I'm aiming for myself. Don't worry. But
what's hilarious is we just watched Men in Tights earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we did.
I'm on one side. I'm on the other side.
I love that it was Mel Brooks that gave Dave Chappelle his break.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mel Brooks did that for a lot of people. He did it for Marty Feldman, and he did it for Madeline Kahn, Gene Wilder. He helped a lot of people.
He was a respectable Jew because he didn't hide who he was.
Nope, he sure didn't. He was forthright about it. Yeah. What is it waiting for you for? We'll know that you're really an American the minute you start making fun of your own people.
Oh, I make fun of Americans all the time.
No, the Jews.
I've gotten in trouble for that before.
Why? You're not at work?
On the fucking show before. I've gotten in trouble for that.
Why?
Because we were talking about fucking Independence Day, right? The movie Independence Day.
I love that movie.
And it's so fucking bad.
It's so good.
It's so bad. But Judd Hirsch's character is uber fucking Jewish.
Oh, of course he is.
Like,
yeah.
super Jewish.
No, yeah. Like they have a scene where he has the yarmulke and he's praying with the kids, and the one guy comes up and goes, I'm not Jewish. Oh, nobody's perfect.
He's just really fucking, really Jewish.
Yeah.
Like, over caricaturish.
Of course.
And, like,
he reminds you of your local Jewish butcher.
I called him Hebe McJuju on the air.
Yeah, but when they grant you permission, it's not the same.
And I got in trouble for it. I got people bitching me out for it. Like,
well,
oh, I've lost respect for you. Fuck you. Like, I don't care. It was Hebe McJuju. How can that not be a fucking joke?
There was a little bit of silence on that end over here for a moment.
Wait, what? Did someone mistake that for his name and people got upset? Like,
no,
oh, that's Hebe McJuju.
This is Hebe McJuju. You know, it's just sounds like a Down syndrome Jew, which can't be possible.
That was another life. Fucking Nerd Nation. So, That was fucking 3 years ago at this point, almost.
Wow. Happy anniversary. Ah.
The podcast that doesn't even do a podcast anymore. So what do we got? What else do we got other than the rampant anti-Semitism?
Well, we were talking about how the senator whose degree was revoked. His degree was revoked.
Yeah, let me pull that story up here.
It's actually
and it's Army War College.
Yeah, it's a senator from Montana, Senator John Walsh, Democrat from Montana.
Yeah, it was the Army War College has revoked his master's degree after an investigation completed Friday concluded that he plagiarized a research paper required to graduate. He plagiarized his thesis. Yeah, for his master's degree, and this was back in 2007. Yeah,
and they started investigating it shortly afterward. I guess something happened, but it's funny. His quote: he goes, "Though I disagree with the findings made by the War College, I accept its decision with great humility and respect for the U.S. military. I apologize to all Montanans for the plagiarism in my 2007 paper, and I'm prepared to live with its consequences." Now get this next part.
Wait. He admitted that he plagiarized. He's like, but I don't agree with their findings.
Here's what. No.
What the fuck?
This is the funniest part. This is the next part coming up. Listen. I may not be a scholar, but I am proud to have been a soldier.
Only a fucking professor could try to get out of plagiarism by saying he admits he does it, but he doesn't agree with it, and he's a soldier before a scholar.
I may not be a scholar and know what plagiarism is, sir, but...
The review board's report found the plagiarism egregious.
That's it.
Found little, if any, original language or research, and that was primarily composed of verbatim liftings from other sources.
You know, they probably used the word egregious because he didn't know what that meant.
In short, the paper was plagiarized, and the plagiarism was intentional.
Mm-hmm. Usually, plagiarism is intentional.
Let me have this root beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, just mind trick you.
Jedi mind check. These are the droids you're looking for.
That's why I put them on. You didn't even need to ask. Let's see. So yeah, I said he was. Okay. Walsh spoke to members of the review board by phone the day before it convened in August. He admitted that he plagiarized the paper, but he said it was a mistake. Walsh also said he was taking medication for PTSD and that one of the soldiers he commanded in Iraq in 2005 had committed suicide in March 2007.
The reason I cheated is because I was going through some problems at the time.
Ask for a fucking extension.
The reason my career is alive.
You're a fucking senator. They'll give you an extension. You're a busy guy. Holy shit.
Well, so what happens here?
You can't make this shit up. This is a perfect movie. It's like Wag the Dog. Was that
fucking movie? Wacky slapstick comedy?
I mean,
what? He killed himself? I'm gonna have to copy off of Wikipedia now. Like, what the fuck? This would have been a great role for Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, are you kidding me? This would have been a perfect Leslie Nielsen role. Because he'll sit there with his naked gun, derpy eyes,
looking around with what you stare all the time. Like, how am I gonna get this report done in time? The internet. I'll just
just there. Copy and paste. Hey,
I'd like the job, please.
It only took 7 years. Which is funny because every time you go to university now or college, they have you sign this agreement that you won't plagiarize. And professors are like, I read the journals all the time, so I'll know it. Well, obviously for this guy, it took 7 years, so it can't be that. Can't be that good of a.
Here's the thing: they also have this thing where they also have this website that they can subscribe to, or that schools can subscribe to, where they just paste the paper into it and it scans it for plagiarism.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Turn it in.
I've heard it. Turn it in, but
it's called Google.
But it's not a very reliable website because you're relying on somebody else on the other end to do it before they turn it back into you or whoever.
I thought it was scanned automatically and compared against
somebody on the other side has to do it. So, you know, either way, there's someone who actually has to actually push a nuclear button.
Yeah.
You know, it's not robotically controlled.
So you think.
Yeah, right. But if we keep going with this U.S.-Israel thing, I mean, before we know it, the Jews could invent some sort of scanner where everything's plagiarized.
Yes, like we were saying, like what if it turns out that all those super racist, crazy people were right? And just one day, like the Jews come out with like the Liberty Prime robot and like convert to Zionism, destroying humanity.
For those in the audience who don't know, we're talking about a bill that has now been passed by the United States called the U.S.-Israel Strategic Alliance Bill. And what this does is it officially accepts Israel as our ally. Even though we've been calling Israel our ally for a long time, we actually don't have an official treaty or policy with them. We've just been calling them that for a long time, unlike other countries. But now what this thing does is it allows the president to invite Israel to infiltrate or share information with us in regards to anything from internet usage to spyware, to electrical power, boards, to grids, warfare, weapon systems, anything. They now have. I don't know of any country that would allow another country that much freedom in their own security system. None. So this is crazy. Hence the Jewish rant tonight.
Yeah. Once again, welcome to Stormfront Radio.
I'm just saying, it's to that point where people are like, uh-oh, it turns out that my skinhead down the street was right, and everybody, let's get out of here.
Well, let's skip from one part of the Middle East to another part of the Middle East with ISIS.
ISIS, we're a stupid Wiccan chant from somebody. Sorry, go ahead. Somebody made that up and I've made fun of it ever since. I think it was a witch named Lori Cabot, the quote-unquote official witch of Salem. Of course, don't tell her that Salem was actually Danvers down the road, but she's
the official witch of Salem.
She's called the official witch of Salem. She wears a
Is it a self-claimed title?
Yes.
Okay, so it was not given to her.
Well, it's given to her by her fans, her acolytes, and she wears black, heavy-lidded makeup and a huge pentacle bling bling on her chest.
What's her name?
She's Lori Cabot, Laurie, and last name's Cabot, Cabot.
She's definitely an official itch.
Yeah, she's more than that.
This bitch.
And there's a chant that
is that a fucking prosthetic nose, or did she get nose work done to make it look like
she might have gotten nose work done? She's like near her 80s,
because she's got this fucking tapered like a witch. She's got a witch nose.
There are people who are who will viscerally defend this woman if ever.
Google's giving the alert that Lori when you it has the result of LoriCabot.com. Right underneath it, it says this site may be hacked.
There are people who will, in my community, who will viscerally like tear apart anyone who would ever object to this woman.
That's how you know when you're insane. When Google's a warning, like, we don't know what's going on in here.
We don't know what the fuck this is.
This could be crazy.
It says she's one of the first people to popularize witchcraft in the United States.
She was in a lot of shows, and she was like in Search Of with Leonard Nimoy, and she's been in a lot of interviews and stuff. That doesn't mean I like the woman just because she was all that. I mean, a lot of people go through her witch degree system, and if they achieve a certain level of proficiency, technically, I think they have to take her last name on in some form. They do. So they have to name themselves Cabot after her.
Wow.
And it's just crazy. Anyway, there was somebody in one of her classes who invented this chant, and it was like, ISIS, I'm in crisis. Bring to me the man who's nicest. And I think it's just the most It's the most terrible chant I have ever heard. So whenever I hear ISIS being mentioned right now, all I think of is that terrible chant.
That I got douche chills. Like, that is really bad.
It's just terrible. I'm probably gonna have a lot of witches unfriend me tonight, but it's just too funny.
That's hilarious.
I never said I was a fan of hers, so it's not like they had warning. But anyway.
Please tell me most chants are somewhat better than that.
Unfortunately, when it comes to this person or similar people, no. There are really good ones, and there's some really bad ones. That's one up there.
That's just really bad.
And there are people who will say it with smiles on their faces and tambourines, like, yeah, and I'm just like, wow, I'm in a
like
crazy
a Pentecostal church.
like a Pentecostal church, yeah. Yeah, except I'd rather hear the tongues.
Yeah. I have a friend here from Israel who is actually a fan of your Fat Joker meme.
Yeah.
Would like to hear you say the word Zayn. It's a Hebrew word.
Zayn?
Yeah.
Zayn.
There you go, Zayn.
Zayn?
That's it.
Why would he like to hear me say Zayn?
I don't know, but you said it. There you go.
I have no idea what I just got myself into. What does that word even mean?
I don't know. There's probably a video being made of you somewhere out there. You're going to get fucked now. It's too late.
I am done for. Holy fucking shit. Well,
why would he want him to say a letter?
Maybe
from the
I should just get my Mel Gibson controversy out of the way at the beginning.
Why would he want him to say a letter from the Hebrew alphabet?
She's very creative. I'm sure if she wanted it, it'll be very funny. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's a letter from the Hebrew alphabet, so I'm not.
Is she listening?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hail Israel.
No, I think she's on your side on that one.
Okay.
So yeah, like we were saying, ISIS. No, I didn't even get to finish this whole thing here with the Army War College.
Oh, Army War College. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's saying the board said in its findings that other students have had similar or more serious issues during their time at the War College, but they were able to do their work without resorting to plagiarism or other cheating. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's a war college. There's a lot of people there with PTSD or have issues. I mean, it's hello.
Yeah.
Well, technically, maybe it took them 7 years to find his plagiarism. Maybe he technically is the best guy for this job. Because if one of those kids plagiarized something, he's gonna know because he's a professional. He's the professor of plagiarism.
He's not a professor though. This guy.
He's a senator. He's a senator of plagiarism.
Yeah.
That's the platform he's running on. Plagiarism. I've done it. I admitted it. Unlike the government.
I mean, at least he's in the right position. At least he's in the right job as a bullshit artist.
Well, yeah. No, it's perfect.
Yeah. So,
okay. Well, that brings something else to my attention. So he was caught. What about the rest of the politicians who plagiarize?
Well, we can cross our fingers and hope they get hit too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I want to know what this guy did that he was caught. I want to know who didn't like him.
It was just a review. I think it was just a random review.
Somebody wasn't paid off very well. I'm sorry. Somebody wasn't paid off at all.
Or he was just by the wrong people. Now he's gone.
Yeah.
Good job.
Or the former person who hit it was fired. And so now and then they found him. So
we will call him only Snowden Jr.
It was probably a GOP conspiracy. So the other guy could win Montana.
Vast right-wing conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. The right wingers don't want the Democrats to know that they're plagiarizing. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were saying.
So yeah, now we can move on to ISIS.
Oh, ISIS.
Yeah. That's gonna happen every fucking time now.
It really is. The other one I've seen on pagan boards right now is where people are saying they need to stop saying ISIS. ISIS is a goddess. And I'm like, no one makes the connection. No one knows. And I guarantee you if the Muslims who made that acronym knew that, they would quickly change it.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit.
And that might have been why they changed it to ISIL.
Yeah. Well, technically it was technically always ISIL, but yeah, they immediately made it ISIS or whatever. But
yeah. So
anyway, sorry. Rant against the pagan community. Go ahead.
Anyone who is a fan of good television has seen Archer.
Mm-hmm. I've seen Archer.
And Archer is.
If you don't like John H. Benjamin, you're a terrorist.
You get that backwards. It's H. John Benjamin.
H. John Benjamin, same person.
No, you plagiarized.
He in Archer, the spy company that his mother owns and that he works for is named ISIS.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently for season 6 they're writing that out of the show.
which is acceptable because
and like ISIS kills people, like that's a thing that they do,
but they don't want to deal with the flag. There's going to be a whole lot of backlash from that they don't want their whole crew.
So let me ask you a question. So if the CIA were to do what ISIS did, and there was a cartoon with an organization called the CIA. That logic doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't. Why would you change? Like, I don't get it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they probably would get a lot of hate mail or something from that.
They're going to get hate mail anyway. Nobody likes them. The people who don't like them don't like them.
I mean, as long as they write it and segue it into something else. I mean, cartoons change all the time. It doesn't really matter.
Here's the thing. If anybody the people who watch Archer and are fans should have that kind of sense of humor.
But here's the thing. If they had changed it anyway and not told us why, and it were just part of the storyline, no one would have known or guessed or said. They still
that's
would have
not
loved the
true.
show.
There probably would have been some people who are analytical and fanatical about it, they would have noticed.
Well, still, but people still would have enjoyed the show.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
I'm not going to stop watching the show. Like I think it's kind of bullshit that they caved like that.
You know? Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, whatever. I wouldn't expect them to put up with it as long as they keep the show good.
Yeah.
As long as they don't start, pandering to a bunch of other people and softening up on a lot of other issues.
You know what? I'm still going to go through my plan. I'm going to go on YouTube, hold this liquor bottle, wrap a Arabian flag around it, and say, "This is Muhammad." I'm still gonna do that. It's my plan. I better I better move.
Yeah, far away from me. Before you do that.
That's gonna be my protest against this whole. I just think it's stupid that when something like that, like I can understand certain things, like Peter Jackson for Return of the King. He changed how the tower better do Sauron's tower when it fell. He changed it because people's minds. The two twin towers were still fresh, and he didn't want it to mimic and cause PT. I mean, I understand. There's certain things I do understand why you change, but the organization. I mean, come on, really? It's just stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're pussies, but what are you gonna do? They make a good show.
Fair enough.
But that's what I'm saying. If it's a good show, and you're show, they make fun of everything. I mean, there's just so many parodies, and that show isn't for everybody.
If they don't want to fight that war, that's fine. I'll fight it for them.
Yeah. That's just me.
Let's see. Amanda Bynes, back on the crazy train.
I swear that chick is schizophrenic.
She is. She is diagnosed schizophrenic.
She used to be the main reason I love the show, all that.
She used to be the reason I watched the Amanda show.
I stopped before that. And then that's when I started really realizing what superficial meant.
I liked her in What a Girl Wants. Was it What a Girl Wants? With her and Colin Firth. Anyway, well, I mean, I remember when she made the announcement several years ago that she was retiring from acting.
Yeah.
And she was like, I think 24, 25 at the time.
Yeah.
And
she got that Nickelodeon money though. She didn't need that.
Yeah, no, she was done. She was over with. I think she was going to go back to school or something.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back on it, she may have started to kind of crack at that point mentally. And that's probably the real reason why she ended up quitting.
And 24 is around the time that schizophrenia tends to hit.
Yeah, usually early 20s, something. It depends on the person, but yeah.
Early to mid 20s, yeah.
In my family, it hits 30s.
Oh, wow, okay.
In my family, it usually around your early to mid 30s is when adult onset schizophrenia hits in my family because mental illness runs in my family.
Right.
So it tends to hit around that age.
Oh, but
that's probably what's wrong with me.
This is what happens.
Just that?
Well, yeah, just that. Because I mean, all 5 of you that are right here, right now, in front of me, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't piss off any of you.
Hey, I know I count for 2, but John's been losing weight. Come on.
No, I'm talking about the 2 of you. The count is 4, and then there's John.
Fuck you.
I've been drinking a little bit, so that took me a minute.
Well, you agreed with me. You said you count as 2, so I was saying, yeah, the 2 of you are 2. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to my.
I was saying this is what happens with child celebrities.
Unless you're from England,
especially when you have to act as so many different characters. It's hard for them to grow up realizing proper values and things like that. So they have all this money. And what is money if not a tool to live, an amazing life? Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Mm-hmm. So they choose, what they see in society around them, which is parties,
they choose
drinking,
to get a boob job and get it removed 3 weeks later.
A fast life.
I can't fault them because if I had money, I don't know what I would do with it either. I mean, but
I know what I'd do with it.
It's like, hey, I gotta say though, it was a good comparison to like all the Harry Potter kids that grew up Like there were a lot of comparisons to how they
turned
out.
Very protected and looked after on set.
Yeah, they were. I mean, that's what they. I mean, even though they partied and drank a lot and everything, they were also still kept under supervised. But it's a little different over there. It's England.
But I mean, she had all that money and all that choice to go do whatever she wanted to do. It's sad that she put herself in that position, but all those flavors.
I wonder if her cum is salty.
I'd be happy to find out. Even if she's crazy, I don't care.
Oh no, she's probably
probably amazing.
She's probably got that. Yeah, she's probably. Oh yeah, you kidding me? She probably wouldn't even know who to be at that moment. No, who do you want me to be? Literally, who do you want me to be?
Be Miley Cyrus.
Stick your tongue out.
Twerking.
Yeah, starts twerking, sticks her tongue out. Yeah, coming like a wrecking ball.
So remember a couple years back she had the incident. She went really nuts. Then she got put in a psych ward.
Yeah.
And diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Right. She was under psych eval. Yes.
Now, I guess she went on Twitter a couple days ago. I guess posted a couple things alleging that her father sexually abused her, physically abused her as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Blah blah blah. Deleted them.
Mm-hmm.
And has since stated that the reason that she posted those things was not it wasn't her thinking that, it was the microchip that was implanted in her brain telling her this.
Now,
and it was her father that had them implanted in.
Now, see, here's the thing: did you know that there's a Miley Cyrus conspiracy that came out a while ago?
A Miley Cyrus conspiracy,
and it actually includes this. You can actually go to Google and type in Miley Cyrus conspiracy. Dead serious. Apparently, this Miley Cyrus is not Miley Cyrus. The real Miley Cyrus was killed and replaced with an actress.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is she that important to where that conspiracy is being added to her now? I mean, because that's been a lot of different people.
I don't know. I mean, why would Billy Ray Cyrus get his own TV show? Maybe he is way up there.
I was, before the show, I was kind of looking down at the whole chip implant hypothesis that she was positing. But having looked now at the craziness that is the Israel-U.S. alliance and the fact that a lot of people Israel is basically giving power to the Zionist conspiracies that have been being cried for hundreds of years that they're taking over. I wonder if the chip really is in her.
Like, at this point, we want to know.
Like, at this point, I'm like, someone do an MRI scan that is independently verified several times, because I'm just kind of curious at this point. I wonder where's the limit of the, like, no, this is actually happening. Oh shit. Wow.
There's lots of technology people don't think is real or exists, but does. Like, have you heard of the TR-7B?
Yes,
yeah.
I've heard of the TR-7B.
Yeah. Few people know that we actually have a nuclear-powered stealth bomber, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they've been able. I mean, obviously, it's been development military secrecy for a long time, and but the time something's released.
Apparently, these people putting out this Miley Cyrus conspiracy have never heard of cosmetic surgery. They're pointing to the fact that she has a different looking nose now and a different looking chin.
That reminds me of the movie Dave.
Oh, is the other one not on there? There's one that's in a paste bin.
A paste bin?
Yeah, it's like a long story.
A paste bin.
Okay.
I have this visual of Miley Cyrus
It was talking about some sort of or whatever, and she didn't want to go along with it.
Always fucking Zionists.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry. You can't hide from the truth, I guess.
She's Mel Gibson's adopted daughter. No one knows. She's got the swastika on her back, I swear.
I don't understand. I can't find a paste bin about it, but
that is suspicious. I will go look for that.
It's suspicious. It's suspicious that they don't have what I'm looking for on there. What's wrong with these people?
No, it's just weird because I found it about 2-3 months ago.
Speaking of Miley Cyrus in pictures, so
the Petalwood paste bin does not come up when you search for it on Google.
No, you're wrong.
No, because I looked and it said search for Petalwood paste bin, Nothing comes up.
John, you're wrong.
It said Miley Cyrus look for the Pedowood thing. I don't know.
John, you're wrong.
But I don't know. It's not coming up.
Okay.
Google might be saying.
So what you want me to say?
John, you're wrong.
Gosh, damn it, Lewis.
So a few weeks ago, we were talking about the fappening.
Yeah.
And now apparently there's a snapping.
The snapping, yes.
Or a bunch of 10-year-olds think they're hot shit, so they take naked pictures of themselves to send their little high school boyfriends. And now apparently
10-year-olds with high school boyfriends.
Yeah,
it happens.
You didn't read the thing. It's like people as young as 10 years old are on here.
Yeah.
So.
Or maybe they're sending pictures to, their teacher.
They should call this the.
That's true. The teachers that they're having a threesome with.
Yeah. That guy should not have talked. The reason teachers get caught is because people talk. We need to stop talking.
We can't negotiate with these terrorists.
It's fucking molestation. Jeez.
When you're 16 and no, I'm sorry. There's a certain age when it's not molestation anymore. You willingly are doing something. You know what you're doing. Stop it.
Not according to the law.
I don't give a shit what the law says. The law also says, if weed's illegal, please.
We shouldn't negotiate with these terrorists, though.
Oh, okay. So I smoke weed, so I can just go touch kids. That's the same thing.
Well,
go ahead, go touch those kids. Get them before their hair does.
That's the same. Just the same fucking thing.
That's right.
Well, smoking weed and touching kids. Same
That's right.
Thing.
Smoke weed, touch kids, party, drink, and
do work.
Be a good Jew.
But we should.
Josh, be a good Jew.
We shouldn't negotiate with them. We shouldn't give them any kind of attention at all. We should be like, do it. These are a bunch of degenerates. Release them all. Let them feel. If they feel shame, then let them feel it for a while. Who cares? Go away.
Which one? The 10-year-olds?
No, the snapping. It's like, we're gonna release these if you don't. Whatever. Like, do it, bitches.
Yeah.
Who cares?
There's a reason I took a photo of myself with duck face.
Like, oh no, you can't. What if they don't want it out there? Well, you should learn what a consequence is.
All right.
Apparently,
I think we need to stop here because John's gonna leave in like 15 minutes, and we want to do Angel Shooter before he leaves.
Oh, okay.
Don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, Mistress, do you want to come over here?
Absolutely.
What chapter were we on? We're on chapter 5, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 5, right? Or was it chapter? We read Well, no, we read up to chapter 4, and then we're on chapter.
Yes.
Chapter 4. I kid you not. This is how it fucking is.
4 and then 5 with a question mark because we lost track.
Yep. The darkness descent. No, deceit. Deceit. This darkness deceit.
Yes.
Okay. Let me let the mistress sit down here. Actually, there should be room. Just have a seat right here.
No problem.
Let me enlarge the text here for you a little bit.
All right. Zyke and the female kept going towards the hamming town. Zyke turned to the female in a sudden, saying in a fierce but cool voice, "By the way, I have multiple names and aliases from Zyke to Zyke. I'm actually a wanted man." We now have the explanation for the name changes.
Did we read this yet?
No.
Okay, all right.
The female was surprised, but it didn't change how she felt. And then in double parentheses, it says, "There, okay? Now stop messaging me about the typos."
Now, here's the thing. It's all in caps. There's a frowny face after there, okay? And there's no fucking punctuation other than exclamation points and question marks.
It doesn't matter. You're missing the level of detail the author's putting in the story. He's obviously... Zyke has come out and said that he has a wanted past. Even though he's the hero of today, he was the monster of the past. He's a man coming to terms with his own inner good.
I'm so glad we did this before John left. But I love the author asides.
Yeah.
"I wanted too." She cried with the tears of happiness drenching her shirt collars and boobs. Zyke blushed, but was able to hide it, being a man and all. Still, the two of them were able to hold hands, unaware of what their destinies had in store for them. They would be wed just 3 years.
It's like his writing style is fierce but cool.
Trendy.
Bitch! Zyke leaped out from the moving vehicle and leaving the female to crash it into a pile of rocks like women do.
Oh! Oh!
More evidence that this fucking guy has never met a woman in his entire life. It's a fucking hermit. It's a fucking monk somewhere.
Which once again goes to show you the creative garden you can find in a lonely but single rose petal in a big pile of dirt.
This is a fucking noble savage. We found a noble savage writing this.
Oh. Oh my gosh. It's a good thing I'm drinking. Go ahead.
Oh, where are we? What? Don't talk to me, you liar. Zyke! Zyke now unsheathed his sword. I see your ploy. All along you were working with the Dark Lord. It has all been a trap from the moment we both met and when we met the Dark Lord. Then the Dark Lord tried controlling me via you, only it was you instead controlling everyone. The true puppet master.
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It doesn't say via V. It says vis-a-vis. It's all one word, no spaces. It's
so it's not even vis-a-vis. It's vis-a-vis.
There is a method to his madness. Did you notice where he said unsheathed his sword instead of unsheathed? It's because he had saw the man that made him angry, and he was unsheathing his sword so that way he would be angry enough to kill him because he knows he needs to keep composure. It wasn't a typo. Or was it?
that is my thought about everything in this story.
I don't know what to think. Go ahead, I'm still processing.
Little known to them as the tiff escalated between the both of them.
The tiff.
High up above, the mysterious priest, Cy Arsenthal, kept laughing. Excellent, Dark Lord. Your greatest foes are now in a tiff with one another. And it's all thanks to this. He wore a frightful aviation mask, and by that I mean a hollowed-out eagle skull over his face and black and gold feathers on each arm.
He's in touch with his Indian roots.
I'm thinking of Johnny Depp.
Yeah. Yep. I think we all have to picture him now. All hail the Dark Lord's rule. I am the strongest priest in the organization. See, Zythe, being a priest, I can always control you. Boo-hoo.
You see that? The religious overtones. A manipulative priest. Yeah, they use religion to twist people to their means and their ends. They're basically sociopaths. See, this guy knows about the world.
Zythe now turns his blade to the priest in a fierce but cool stance, screaming, "Baby gonna fall for the ruse?" What? It turns out Zythe had lured the priest out with a phony tiff between the lot of them. It was planned from the start.
The lot of them.
All both of them.
All both of them.
Also, he's high up on this ridge, so I don't understand how they're talking to each other at this point.
Telepathy.
It very well could be.
I'm sure they're shouting boisterously.
Well, he didn't say that.
Well, he was screaming.
As he was on what
with a fierce but cool stance.
With
I don't know how
a fierce
you do that
but
and
cool
scream.
stance. With a fierce but cool stance. Eminem?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Ah, fierce but cool. With a Nick Fury stance.
There you go.
But can he scream while he's doing fierce but cool?
You've seen Samuel L. Jackson. You know he can scream fierce but cool. Motherfucker!
Say what one more time, motherfucker?
I dare you! I double dare you, motherfucker!
Trying to act like it's not a style.
So now Samuel L. Jackson is standing fierce but cool with a seat.
This is an Afro Samurai plot.
It really is. I can see the minority praise here.
So, it was a fake tiff planned from the start? The evil priest flapped his body downwards, bloodlustingly. Yeah, Zythe said in a fierce but cool stance. But why attach now? We were trailing you all along with our radar.
Did he say attach now?
Attach.
Yes. With radar.
With radar. He didn't want to be found. Okay.
You moved the screen. Where is it? No! The Dark Lord has been keeping tabs on you, Zyke, after the greatest warrior he ever knew, Zyke's dad, your dad, defeated him all those years ago. I love how Zyke's dad still doesn't get his own name.
And in case Zyke had to know, it was his dad.
So it's a triple cross, Zyke said, keeping a firm tab on his sword handle. A quartet cross, Cy laughed cackingly. A wave of fire flew into Zyke's mind, and he could hear the cries of the damned, again plaguing his thoughts.
Told you, telepathy.
I've
Dad!
got nothing for this anymore.
Samuel L. Jackson is cackling.
He's cackingly.
He's cackingly. Visible.
Trying to make this sound meaningful, and I'm really racking my brain.
It's just hurting, isn't it? It just hurts.
I think I
do
see
it. I'm tough.
Fight through it. Fight the
I
pain.
think I gotta put myself in Zyke's shoes.
Hear those cries of the damned, John. Hear them. Let them plague your thoughts.
Vis-a-vis. Go ahead, Zyke.
Dad, he replies cryingly. But then, in a sudden, Zyke's hair and scar begins to glow in a fierce light.
He's going Super Saiyan.
Dad, he replies evilly. What in the name of planet Cryogen? And in parentheses it says, the planet they're on. Cy Arsenval cries, surprisingly. So that's how Zyke's dad was able to be a match for our Dark Lord, Cy realizes momentarily. It's that the entire family have always been latent super cryogens. There, it all makes sense now, right, John?
I still got nothing.
Cryogen.
But then
This is all about how how
my
the
life
white
went
man
upside down.
the white man subjugates the black man, the cryogens.
The cryogens. It's a white populated planet.
You're not as good at this as I am.
I know.
you're not.
I'm sorry, but there aren't enough drugs.
You can't even do anything, so I'm trying.
Just keep going. Just go.
Samuel L.
There's
Jackson, the Afro Samurai versus the white people.
Yeah, Afro Samurai.
Yeah.
When you turn this into a movie, are you going to try and get Sam for it?
Of course.
I love the sizes for
He read Go the Fuck to Sleep. Maybe he'd be willing to do this.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
All right, but then before Zythe could
Fierce but cool.
Fierce but
Yes.
cool.
But then before Zythe could fully power up, he found the evil priest Cy with a knife to the female's throat. Help me, Zythe, the female mutters fearingly. Except Zyke is so fast now, faster than even the most modern bullet train, and immediately cuts through the priest's arm bone. Fragments flew all over the room, and feathers, and Zyke grabs his woman by the lips.
I can just see him. He's running by like the Flash, and just goes.
So she's like doing like he's pulling duck face at her.
I get it now. It lets the reader know that love can triumph over the oppression of religion. That pure love can actually make you stronger than the hatred and bonds that you've been taught your entire life.
And it can withstand the pain of your lips being pulled.
Yes.
Where does that fit in?
No, that's exactly it.
Where?
It does specify the lips on her mouth, right?
No, I get it. I see why
It
I
does
did
not
it.
specify
Because she
that.
says
Ooh.
that.
I don't know, but I've met on their wedding night. They're both virgins.
Oh.
Yeah, that definitely would have broken a hymen if he grabbed her like that by a drive-by like that.
Come here, chick.
It wasn't literal. It's because she's saved by the skin of her lips. Because when religion, if you speak evil, then you're done.
What religion was that?
All of them. They don't like you talking about bad things. You can't talk about being gay.
What's that to do with the lips being pulled?
Didn't he pull her away by her lips? He saved her by her lips, right? All right.
It's like the skin of her teeth. Is that where you're trying to go?
Basically,
with that?
yes.
Oh, why don't you just say so?
I don't know. I was trying to turn it into something else. Look,
They can't all be gold, okay? They can't all be gold.
there's an entire universe.
That's my fucking excuse too, okay?
There's an entire.
I tried.
There's an entire universe, and I can't explain it all at once.
Wow. Sometimes
Sometimes planets take time to form.
Especially
Rome
cryogen.
wasn't built in a day.
So he's grabbing her by the lips.
So he's grabbing her by the lips.
For I am Zythe, the super cryogen, allied to good, nightmare to you. Without warning,
Darkwing Duck.
Sai killed Zythe.
Killed it.
unexpectedly.
He killed it.
He killed him dead. D-E-D.
Dead.
Here's where he built the suspense.
Oh, whatever.
Killed him with his huge taloned feet. Zythe's guts spilled everywhere like a blender getting knocked over, and the female cried intensely. Just the pathos here. Luckily, though, she found 7 legendary regeneration crystals.
It is fucking Dragon Ball! Holy fucking dog shit, it's Dragon Ball!
She found those, and Zythe came back to continue the fight normally. We didn't need to see all the part with her finding them. That's the female doing shit. That was unimportant.
Zythe is a fucking Saiyan. He's a Super Saiyan.
Did we already discover this?
Will this person get in trouble for plagiarizing?
No.
It's fan fiction.
How could you think that this level of creativity could be found anywhere else on Earth but out of this beautiful, lonely, autistic boy's visions?
He's autistic?
I would fucking imagine so.
Don't even joke.
I'm just wondering.
It's plausible.
I'm guessing this kid doesn't have many friends.
But I'm sure he can be a better writer. I don't know too many autistic people who would write that bad. I don't write that
I'm
bad.
sorry that you can't see the deep level of emotion he puts in his work.
Oh, maybe the senator should have said his was fan fiction. He would have gotten away with it. No, it was fan fiction. You don't understand.
All right, everybody. For those out there listening, you don't have to keep listening, but I gotta head out.
Fuck you too.
I'm sorry. Give this man a cookie.
Probably shouldn't take this with me.
What the open bottle container of liquor?
Yep.
Okay.
I still haven't figured out what the open container was on this state.
All right, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Did you mean to leave this?
No, I did not. Thank you.
Let me just pack one more here and then I'll give it back.
Yeah,
John is taking off.
I'm glad I reminded you. You almost walked right off without it.
Thank you for listening, everyone.
Thank you for listening to his rants.
Yeah, he'll be back next week for more anti-Semitism and fun.
Please email me directly if you'd like to subscribe to my newsletter.
Follow him on 4chan.
You can see his pictures on Snapchat. Oh, wait.
Good night, John.
He's Rubicon on Stormfront. Ladies and gentlemen, John Epling.
All right, later.
All right, so continue with the...
where are we?
Right there.
This cannot be, Sai says, dyingly clucking like a chicken for some reason. Yeah, it says for some reason.
For some reason.
But Sai is able to regale himself with what I don't know. Now floating high in the air by flapping his arms. Never underestimate the Dark Lord and his minions.
I thought he only had one fucking arm. Didn't Zyte cut clean through the...
clean through.
Wait.
Fragments flew everywhere.
So I'm picturing
And
this
feathers.
Looney Tunes
He's just
scenario
in one fucking
where
direction.
he's flapping around and he's going only like in one direction in this circle. Wow.
Mo, Larry the cheese! Mo, Larry the cheese! Mo, Larry the cheese!
Maybe the character with one arm and the wings is his way of dealing with his disability. See, now I'm believing he's autistic.
And the guy with the one wing is still flying.
But no matter what, even though he's stuck in that routine nature that is stuck with autism, he's still able to overcome his odds. There's a deep emotional story here.
Okay, he's doing all right. Taking over.
Now we're getting the more psychological side as opposed to the political side.
Never underestimate the Dark Lord and his minions. A partying gift, young Super Cryogen.
Party on, dudes!
Party on, Wayne!
Apparently he's offering him some weed.
Yeah, party favors, yes.
A wave of birds goes rocketing his mouth straight for both Zythe and the female.
Wait, what? Hit a wave of birds.
Goes rocketing his mouth. I think out of his mouth? Maybe?
Right.
I'm opening up my own mouth to try and figure that out.
Like I don't know how
He's making
one
out with
bird.
his invisible partner there.
I don't know how one bird would fit out of my mouth, let alone.
No, I mean I have fit
a
multiple.
wave of them.
Yeah, no, I fit multiple cocks in my mouth, but I can't imagine multiple birds coming out.
I'm sorry. We keep getting interrupted. I have no idea where we are in this fucking thing. Birds racking out of his mouth straight for Zyth and the female. Only Zyth's blade begins to glow in bright gold. The birds all cluck, agoningly dying.
So they're chickens.
Yes. Except the biggest one of them all behind them. No! Zyth screams, losing his power. He grabs the female, but Zyth grabs even tighter, and they wrestle. Except the female is flown in the air alongside Sai, leaving Zyth back on the ground alone. If you want your female back, don't dawdle in reaching Hamilton, he laughs creepily. Zyth, powerless, alone, and cryingly, rips off his poncho. He is built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Saying, Dark Lord, you've taken away everything of mine. My father, my woman, my planet. It ends today. By the setting moon, which only set as soon as my powers faded by chance, I, the last remaining super cryogen, will end you once and for all. He punches the dirt, cryingly vowing revenge.
You hurt me.
Yeah, Dark Lord, you've taken away everything of mine. My power, my woman, my planet. It ends today. By the setting moon, which only set as soon as my powers faded by chance.
Oh, the chicken man ran off with my woman.
The last remaining super cryogen, will end you once and for all.
Now you went to sound like Dr. Evil. Now it's just... I'm just, wow, okay. Well, maybe this kid looks up to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe he does. Maybe this is what he wishes. Maybe he's an invalid. Maybe he's really skinny. You're right. He doesn't have any friends, and this is his way of acting out his fantasy. He feels like he has to rescue someone. Maybe he's a virgin too.
Virgin 2? What do you mean virgin 2?
As well.
He's obviously a virgin.
Yeah. I mean, the hole in his mattress doesn't count.
His waifu doesn't count. $50 says this motherfucker has a waifu.
I don't know. He might.
Again, the hole in his mattress doesn't count. Oh, the poor kid. Now I feel really bad for him.
I do. I wonder if he even heard us, if he would understand that we were mocking him.
Well, I remember one time I made a huge loud noise.
Does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, well,
If he enjoys being on the air, other people enjoy us making fun. It doesn't fucking matter. It's like MST3K.
I respond, there's a place for comments in this, and I responded to him saying, I love this story so much. Please tell me there's more. And he ended up uploading 20 more chapters.
How many are we up to now? We're up to a whole bunch.
Wow,
42. Or no,
the meaning
4,
of life.
yeah,
44, technically.
40, 41, 42, 43.
They're just misnumbered.
Yeah, 44. Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, don't you go soft on me now. We're reading this fucking thing.
It's so sweet now. It's almost like when you lost your virginity. It's the sweetest thing for someone who's so pathetic that I've ever heard of.
Dead air.
With your fucking Caesar haircut. With your fucking 1990s George Clooney haircut, you're gonna sit here and talk to me about fucking pathetic.
Yeah. Why shouldn't I? All four of you.
Check your pager. There's a call waiting for you at the ER.
Well, I salute all four of you.
I think that's all we're gonna do in that room. For more.
All right.
Yay.
Thank you, mistress.
See, not all pathetic people are created equal, but you all have friends, so it's okay.
Right, I have you, another pathetic
Exactly.
person.
Oh, I know I'm pathetic. It's okay. No, I understand it.
We attract each other. We have 3 pathetic people on the same fucking show.
Woo! Pathetics of the world unite. Oh.
Yeah, I guess. Pass those cookies over here.
Okay. Want me to toss my cookies at you?
Whatever works.
Okay. If you ever want to toss my salad, let me know.
No, I'm good, thank you.
You don't know until you had it.
That tongue goes on vagina. That's about it.
There's a reason gay men call it boy pussy.
I know.
Okay.
If I'm ever into that, I will. You will be the first person that.
I can tie you down and drug you. It's fine.
No, thank you.
I do advocate drugging.
It takes a hell of a lot of drugs to put me down.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know that. I really appreciate that. It was special of you. Thank you. You're giving me knowledge I can work with now.
Like, you better pack a lot. Like,
Okay. I'll pack a lot.
it takes a lot to put me down.
Don't worry, I'll pack it. Don't you worry about that.
You may not pack my fudge, sir.
I'll pack it however I have to.
I am not a bottom.
You don't have to be. I'll still pack it. Don't you worry about that. I'll let the mistress record it.
Ha! Do not tempt her. She will assist you in drugging me. Holy fucking shit, you asshole.
That's what we're trying to go for here. Keep up, Josh. Or has Zyke robbed you of your mentality?
Yeah.
The autism has siphoned you.
It really has.
Just because someone is more famous than you doesn't mean you have to be jealous.
I don't know about that.
Well, obviously he's gotten a really good response. I mean, look, we're putting him on air.
Right, but we're breaking him.
I'll break you.
Is this how it's going to be for the whole last hour?
Probably.
Yeah, gosh damn it. This is why we need John around.
No, this is perfect.
Always good.
Is it? It is. It's very perfect. Think about it. We get a chance to explore ourselves as men in the comfort of our atmosphere.
I'm sorry, I don't want to be in the comfort of your atmosphere.
That's okay. I'm in the comfort of yours.
No, thank you.
No, really, it's fine. I advocate men should be able to sit down and be comfortable with one another and do things that, challenge society's
Put your fucking pants
perception.
back on, Lewis.
I have shorts on.
Put those back on, too.
And I just want to let you know that if ever you need someone to rub your back, I'm here.
No, the mistress just did that earlier for me.
And she can always watch some more. Never rob a woman from a time of pleasure. Don't you know this by now, Josh? Are you still a virgin in these kinds of things? Should I pull your lips too?
The mistress is over there practically begging me to let that back rub happen.
Rub them cheeks.
No.
We're going to put a poll up and see how many people want this to happen, because you're a public figure and you have to be able to bow to your audience. So I want to put a poll up and find out who would like for Josh to be videotaped having a bag rub from me.
No.
And upload it. It's part of a challenge.
What challenge would that be?
To you.
Well, we wouldn't be able to we'd have to upload it to like LiveLeak or something because it wouldn't be.
Oh, I know plenty of websites we can upload it to. You can upload it to YouTube. Now they have like an
No,
thing.
because I can't. No, because it'd have ass in it.
You can still say, in order to view this video,
What if we?
you have to sign in and be over 18.
The mistress just had an idea. Let her come in here and give the idea.
Okay, so you guys are totally gonna do a food drive, right?
Yeah.
You should have people donate to different causes. People donate if they want you to do the back rub, or they donate to the one where Josh gets out of the back
So the
rub.
sharing center, that's
dueling
that's a brilliant
fundraiser.
idea. So the sharing center in Brevard County, South Brevard County Sharing Center, they are low on food, feminine products, shampoos, conditioners, everything. Now, however, you guys have to message us. If you guys donate to the sharing center, let me know and I'll tally up the votes and I'll give Josh a wonderful cheeked back rub on behalf of the audience. And
You have to be fully clothed.
I didn't know. I'm the one making the challenge here.
No.
I make the
This is the
specifications,
only way I
sir.
will accept this.
No,
This is
you're
the
a
only way I
public
accept the
figure. You have to
challenge.
bow down
This
to
is
your
the only
audience.
way I will accept the challenge.
Actually, we're going to let the mistress put the specifications on.
Don't you fucking...
You're fully clothed.
I'm fully clothed. Go right ahead.
Okay.
That's it. That's all she said. I'm fully clothed. She didn't put
Josh
anything in.
isn't.
The mistress has spoken.
I feel like why'd you drive that bus over me?
I didn't see a bus.
I only said you weren't fully clothed. I mean, obviously you're gonna have your shirt off. It's not a back rub through the shirt.
Yeah, that's true.
And don't forget, I gotta reach her cheeks.
That is true.
He does have a magnificent ass.
The world's got to see it. How many licks does it take to get to the center of Josh's cheeks? 1.
Okay,
2,
another rule.
3.
No insertion.
Don't worry, I have anal leaks. I mean, I have some. Don't worry.
No insertion.
No insertion.
No insertion from what?
Anything.
Insertion is such a
There is
wide
one
definition.
hole where you will be near. I want nothing in
Technically, there'll
that
be 2.
hole.
Technically, there'll be 2 holes. Your ass and the
Look, there's
hole
enough
at the
room
end
on
of
the
your
cheeks.
penis.
You don't even have to get near the crap.
Oh, okay, that's fine. It'd be like a highway. Just avoid the sinkhole.
Just stay in
Got
your
it.
lane.
Yeah, stay in my lane. Avoid the sinkhole. I got this, Josh. Don't you worry.
Signal before changing lanes.
Yeah. I'm gonna be back and I'm gonna go turning down. So you guys need a
The
message.
mistress will be there to be the GPS. You have arrived at your destination.
So you guys need to let us know and post on the Untitled Nonsense Facebook page and let us know when you've donated it, how much you've done, and we'll tally this up. And
what's the website? Do you remember?
For the sharing center,
Mhm.
I'll pull it up.
All right. And I'll post this to Untitled Nonsense Facebook as well, facebook.com/Untitled Nonsense, or you can get there through untitlednonsense.com. Yeah, well, we'll fucking do this. We'll do it. We'll do it. And I can see the glee in the face of the mistress right now. Because I know Rob's going to get a fucking hold of this. And I know Rob is going to push to get people to donate and vote for the back rub.
All right.
Are you going to do the dueling fundraisers, or are you just going to have a bar that if you meet that bar?
What do you think we should do? Should we do dueling fundraisers, or should we do a bar?
I think we should do it. This one's in really bad need right now, so I think we should do a bar.
Okay.
Because nobody's going to vote for you.
So what should we do? Should we have them donate directly, or should we have them like donate? We have them like send to my PayPal and then we buy stuff for the sharing center?
That might be a good idea.
How about a Kickstarter or something?
Yeah, Kickstarter fund might go too.
I don't know. You can't do Kickstarters for charity.
Oh, that's right. No, you're right. Let me think about this. I think what we can do,
or maybe we could just have them donate to the PayPal, and then we can get like a Walmart gift card and give it to them.
That might work too. Or actually, just I don't know how they'll use it, but we can always just go shopping and.
Right. Yeah. Either we
them.
go shopping and get what they need, or give them a Walmart gift card so they can get what they need.
Yeah. So that might be actually a good idea. So let's see. How much should we raise? Mistress, what's your amount?
Oh, I have no idea. How many listeners do you guys have?
Not many.
We can always go further. We can with this
Advertise on Facebook, too.
today. There'll be a lot of advertisements on my part on Facebook, my blog, and everything. So don't you worry.
Let's. You think 1,000 is stretching it?
$1,000?
Yeah,
that's stretching it. Why don't we go with 100?
I'm gonna donate.
Let's go with 5.
500?
500.
All right. So the website for South Brevard Sharing Center, by the way, for those who would like to see it, is mysbsc.org. Mysbsc.org. But we're going to be putting it on Facebook, and we'll have a PayPal account.
I have a PayPal account.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just donate to the PayPal account that Josh will put up. And we're looking to raise $500 for the South Brevard Sharing Center. The drive will be between now and when?
Let's give it a month.
Let's give it a month from now.
So it'll be right before Thanksgiving
Right
when
before
we give them the
Thanksgiving.
stuff.
Yeah, so right now, just before Thanksgiving, raising $500. And if we get it, you'll get to see me give Josh a lovely back rub with the mistress recording it for all the world to see.
Happy Thanksgiving to the mistress.
Wait till your virginity celebration next year.
I can't wait for that.
So let's go until let's give it 4 weeks.
Mhm.
So let's go give it until the 8th of November.
8th of November.
If we have $500, donate it to my PayPal account, which will be send it to disturbeddetective17@gmail.com
Mm-hmm.
for the ID. If we have $500 donated to that PayPal account by the 8th of November, I will allow Lewis to give me a back rub with cheeks included.
With cheeks included. I'll get to pinch his cheeks. Get to pinch his cheeks.
The things I do for this fucking show and for fucking charity, man.
Hey, if you want to be a celebrity, you have to pay the price, my friend. Price of fame.
What are we gonna call this? There's got to be a name for this fundraiser.
Cheeksathon.
It's got to have cheeks in the name.
Josh's Cheeksathon.
What is the name of the center?
Sharing Center.
The South Brevard Sharing Center. So we're gonna raise it. This is Josh's Cheeksathon, everybody.
No, I don't know about that. We'll come up with a name by next week. We will have a name for this by next week.
Okay.
But up until then, donate disturbeddetective17@gmail.com for the PayPal account. And we'll tally it up by the 8th of November. I know this is going to fucking happen. I know it is. I mean, it's great that it is, but I know this is going to fucking happen.
Yeah. This will be fun. This will be fun.
You're going to have too much fun with this.
Absolutely.
John is going to be John is going to think this is hilarious.
I am so happy right now. My glee meter has just increased.
There are times like this where I love having our own personal Fez on the show.
The public thanks you, Josh. The public thanks you for your service.
We'll see how this goes.
Don't you worry. They say that it's better to give than to receive. Although in your case,
I am not receiving anything other than a back rub. That is we've laid down the rules of no insertion.
Well, I think because you're Jewish, I think it's better to receive than to give, is what your people say. So you'll definitely be receiving.
You have more of a fucking hook nose than I do.
Yeah, but you're the one who has the pro-Jewish flavor there.
So that automatically makes
I could
me a
pass
Jew.
more for an Arab.
You could.
Yeah, see? And right now, we're even across the way from the table. I mean, you are right now like Gaza, and I'm over here, you know? We're just right across the Jordan. This is symbolic of what's going on in Israel right now,
You're
Josh.
hiding torpedoes and missiles in your...
Oh, I've got a torpedo.
In your caves.
Don't you worry, I've got a torpedo for you. I've got a bomb
I fucking knew that was coming.
I got a bomb that'll go off in your bus.
Hamas.
Don't you worry. Oh, I'm a Hamas. Oh, yes, I am. I'm going to get me some Hamas. Oh, yes. Don't you worry about that, sir.
Oh, I don't know how much longer I want this to go on. I don't know what else I'll agree to. Holy fucking shit.
That's right. That's right. There's going to be some shit. You better do an enema that day, sir. Or I'll come
No insertion. No means no, Lewis.
You better... No means yes.
No
you know
means
that.
no.
I'll, No means yes. It's okay. Especially if you're a drug. You still better clean between your cheeks. If not, I'm bringing soap and gloves. I'll advertise that too.
I always do clean between my cheeks.
I'll make sure.
I'm not that fucking stereotype of a fat guy.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying there are even thin guys who don't wash themselves. Trust me. It's disgusting. I mean, it makes it go easier in, you know, because there's lube, but it's just shitty lube. Literally.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. It's not as good as blood, though.
Blood is good.
Blood is good. Blood's a better lube.
I do love blood.
Mm-hmm. So do I. So,
of course, being half vampire.
Yeah, well, you'll get to experience that the day of the cheek rub.
No, I will not.
It's great lube. You'll find out firsthand. Literally, my first hand.
I trust that the mistress would stop it if anything like that would happen. Nope.
Your perineum is mine, sir.
No. No.
We all have to explore sometime, Josh. I mean, it's your attitude like this that made you be like a late virgin. So, seriously.
I'm plenty exploratory, sir.
Well, then good. We're gonna do that day. There'll be plenty of exploratories. Yes, absolutely. I'll even bring a light with me. This is gonna be exciting, people. You better donate because this is gonna be really fun. Well, not for your audience, it won't. The public is autistic, Josh. They want routine.
We're gonna burn this bit out before it even happens.
They want to flap with their one wings, Josh, with their one arm wings. No matter how ridiculous it may look.
Flapping in a circle, just one arm.
No matter how ridiculous it may look, Josh, that's what they want. They want routine.
Like the fucking fish from Finding Nemo. Just
I know. He's got the one. Which technically was inaccurate. He should have been a female fish.
Mm-hmm.
Disney messed up the biology there again.
Because we all know Disney is great for scientific accuracy.
Yes, they are. Didn't you see Bambi's mother die? I didn't either, but I heard the gunshot.
Mm-hmm. I didn't like Bambi much. Bambi wasn't my favorite.
Which one's your favorite?
Mary Poppins.
Oh, who doesn't love Mary Poppins?
Mary Poppins is my fucking favorite.
I love it.
I watched that movie so much. We had a VHS copy of it. I watched it.
Did you, like, with the tape was starting to go?
It snapped inside the cassette.
Snapped.
We watched it so much that it wore it so thin that it snapped inside the
My
cassette.
brother and my sister had a VHS tape of Lion King. That was their favorite one. Mm-hmm. And over the course of the summer, one summer, they watched it over 7,000 times to where they counted. They actually had a count. I remember being over 7,000. They have the exact number, but it was like starting to get like the white, like the script. It was just wearing out. It almost snapped. Matter of fact, I think it may have.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was very happy when it came out on DVD.
Oh, I bet. I miss
Lion King was the first movie that I saw in theaters.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the first movie was that I saw in the theater. First movie I ever saw in a movie theater was it was before Silence of the Lambs. I remember I saw that in the theater. My parents took me.
You saw Silence of the Lambs in a theater when you were a kid.
Yeah, my family took me.
So fucking.
All right,
much.
Let me just explain. It was in
that explains so much.
They also took me to go see Bram Stoker's Dracula, so I had a crush on Anthony Hopkins for a while, and Gary Oldman.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Okay.
This was your Christian family.
Yeah, this before they became Christian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but after I still watched it. Anyway, okay, so I was maybe about 10 or 11 when it came out, I think, Silence of the Lambs, and we were like, oh, let's go to there was a theater in Boca Raton called Meisner Park Theater.
Okay.
We went there to go watch it, and now Meisner Park was a very different theater. You didn't just sit down, it was almost like a restaurant. You sat down, you had a table in front of you, and they brought food.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know what to order, so we ordered pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm eating pizza, engrossed in the film, and then we saw the scene where he cuts the guy's face, and he pulls the face up, and I'm about to bite into my sausage pizza. But I remember one thing. I remember when my family, it was my mom, my older sister Melinda, it was me, and I think my grandmother, I forgot who else was there, but we're all watching the film. And I remember the very first scene where Jodie Foster's character, she's walking by the cell, and the guy is over there. Hang on.
We're lighting up. Hang on.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She's walking by, and the guy, he goes, oh my God, I'm bleeding. He throws his sperm at her. Remember that?
Yes,
thing?
fucking multiple MIGs.
Yeah.
Fucking MIGs.
threw his cup at her. I go, what did he just throw?
Spladow, bitch! How you like that? Right in her face.
I had to watch it again. I was like, because I mean, I knew.
At first, I thought it was shit.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was too.
Then a couple times I watched it. I'm like, he's sitting there jacking off. He threw his cum at her. Holy shit!
At first, I thought it was just shit. Then I'm like, well, was it his urine? You know, because I didn't see like any solid matter hit the wall. And then when I watched it the second time, I was like, oh, he threw his cum at her. Like the ultimate
fucking Migs.
The ultimate facial. I loved it. But we were watching that movie, and between that and Bram Stoker's Dracula, I had a really big crush on Anthony Hopkins. I really did.
Well, how could you not? He's a man's man.
Absolutely. Anthony Hopkins. The first movie I saw him in was Elephant Man.
Okay.
That was the very first film I saw him in.
Yeah. Sir Anthony Hopkins. Let's give him all due respect here.
Yeah, now he's Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Did Angelina Jolie just get knighted? I could have sworn there was a news event that came out that she's Dame Angelina Jolie. From what I understand, I could be wrong, but I could have sworn there was news that came out this week about that. I guess maybe find out and we'll see.
Honorary Dame.
She's an honorary Dame.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just giving that shit out to anybody now, aren't they?
Yeah, well, it's like the Nobel Prize.
I mean, Anthony Hopkins got it because he did Shakespeare in the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Yeah, no, he got it because of drama.
Yeah. Him and Patrick Stewart, they got it same reasons. It was
but
legitimate.
She's not a British citizen,
right?
So I think for her it was honorary.
Isn't John Voight British though? Or was he? No.
No, he's not British.
No.
He's German.
Okay.
Oh, he's from a German family. I don't think he's British though.
Why would they even give her an honorary one then? Is her mother British?
Could be.
No. Let's see.
I know it's honorary.
Marceline Bertrand.
Yeah, I know it's honorary when it's a non-British citizen.
Mm-hmm.
It's always honorary. I forgot who else had an honorary.
No, she was born in Illinois. How the fuck did she get an honorary dameship?
Well, I know she's part of the Screen Actors Guild, and she's done a lot of theater.
She's also done a lot of humanitarian work. That might be it too.
That could be it as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a lot of humanitarian, and she's done stuff for a lot of British charities as well. I mean, some people go to different countries and get a shirt. She gets a kid.
Right.
But yeah, so.
I mean, if they have the money, more power to them. I think
I agree.
It's people like that should be adopting them, and that have the means to take care of them and want to love them and take care of them.
Well, and her and Brad Pitt are, from what I understand, great parents.
From what I understand, yeah.
That's one of the reasons he broke up with Jennifer Aniston. He wanted kids, she didn't. And I thought that was totally unfair because I'm like, if she didn't want, she should have told him something. Mm-hmm. And from what I understand, as far as I understand, it was a surprise to him. Like he wanted it and she didn't.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, as long as somebody has the means to take care of them and you're a good parent, adopt as many fucking kids as you want, please.
Yeah, they've got the money.
God knows there aren't enough good parents in this world for children that need them.
I know. Well, that's the thing is I see like a lot of people with money and it's okay, they're donating to charities, but I think they need to do more.
Some people with a lot of money though just really aren't cut out to be good parents.
Well, yeah, look at Bill Gates.
Yeah, I mean,
he wouldn't be a good parent.
He does a lot of stuff for charity otherwise.
Yeah, no, he does.
He has given so much of his net worth away to charity.
Yeah, he has. And there are even some of them that will be
more than Steve fucking Jobs ever did.
Oh yeah, well,
he was a jackass.
Of course. Oh yeah.
And people worship that guy. He was a fucking jackass in the way he treated his employees.
Oh yeah, no, I used to work for somebody with that attitude. Actually, I worked for several people with that attitude. Where on the outside, people were like, "Oh, this guy's so nice," and I just said they're going, "Yeah, yes, he's nice." No, he's not. I should fucking stick an ice pick up his dick. Is what I should do. That's what I wanted to say to people when they said, "This person's so nice." Of course they are. You keep thinking that, sure. Goldilocks.
Right. You've never been with them behind closed doors. Right.
So not all these people can really be.
I've had people. Do you know who I hate? People who treat you one way when you're just with them, and then another. I used to have people that were like that. I had to get rid of them. They would treat me
hypocrites.
They would treat me like they're my best friend when we're just them. Just with them.
Yeah.
And then get with a group of friends and they do nothing but shit on me or ignore me and that type of thing.
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of grew up with that kind of the same thing for a little bit, where
it was in the church a lot.
Oh yeah, it is
a lot.
Oh yeah, church is clique.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely a clique.
You know what the worst with church is with cliques is youth group. Youth group with the cliques, it's fucking worse than high school.
I had nobody to talk to in my youth group because I grew up in a black church. All the black kids were interested in listening to rap or whatever. We had nothing in common.
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid from Boca Raton. We had nothing in common whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had no one to talk to, and so it was one of those where they were over there, I was over here, and
we were talking about growing up in church earlier before the show.
Yeah, the twain never met. Yeah.
Like fucking youth group. Did your youth group like really try to encourage kids to get married early?
Well, the thing about my church is, and I think this is common with a lot of black churches, half of the church was related to each other, and the other half were related by marriage.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So it's like, everybody knew.
So it was not a dating pool.
No, I mean and dating wasn't allowed. You weren't allowed to date.
Oh, really?
Dating was looked down on.
Wow. Like they allowed dating. They practically encouraged it, but it was very like leave room for Jesus kind of shit.
Yeah. When my mom came down one point with,
I'm really lucky I wasn't in a side hug church. I would have lost my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Those churches drive me crazy. Don't front hug. You're like, what?
Well, we actually knew a girl. Well, I didn't know her, but she was an acquaintance of people. Went to this one youth group. She would never hug a guy. She goes, "No, I'm saving that for my husband."
Hugging.
Holy
shit! That's brainwashed right there.
Yeah, she's like, "No, I'm saving that for my husband."
That is fucking brainwashed right there.
Yeah, but it was funny because dating wasn't allowed. So I was like, "Well, how are you supposed to meet?" And they were like, "Well, the Lord will reveal to you who that your spouse is, and when you meet them, you court."
Yes, courtship was huge around the time that I was in youth group.
You court. And there was that guy, Joshua Harris.
I Kissed Dating Goodbye.
I Kissed Dating Goodbye.
That motherfucker. And then it came out that he had an awful marriage and he got divorced.
He got divorced
from that woman.
Yeah.
And it didn't work at all. It was awful. It was fucking terrible.
Not only did he divorce and have a bad marriage, but there was also, it was hush hush, but he was in a gay scandal.
Was he really?
Yep. Wow. Yep. He was apparently because he was a youth pastor, he was actually with an older member who had graduated, one of the people, and he was like another 19-year-old kid or whatever.
Why does this not surprise me though?
But I was looking at him when he was touring, and I was like, this guy's gay. I'm sorry. This
your gaydar was going off hard.
Yeah. I'm looking, I'm like, he's versatile. I'm just watching this guy. My sister Melinda's having me sit there and watch this guy. We're watching him on TV, listening to him talk, and I'm just thinking, wow, he's cute, he's versatile, he's gay. Don't tell me he's just no. Yeah. I Kissed Dating Goodbye is probably one of the travesties that the modern church has clung on to.
I got out when worship nights started becoming rock shows.
Oh.
People like David Crowder and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like I got when I was helping with a huge convention type thing. Student Life at all? Yeah. They do the conventions around the country. It was a really big one at Daytona Beach. I was helping behind the scenes for the whole week, and David Crowder band was there. And I was behind the stage, and they announced that they're coming on, and this people comes running down to the fucking barrier. Like, we had to send security out there. It was like, what? This is supposed to be like a worship thing. What the fuck is going on here?
In 1998, my family and I, during the summer, we went to a church in Columbus, Ohio, called War Harvest Church. It's run by Pastor Rod Parsley.
Oh, I used to love Rod Parsley. Fucking, he was the best because he was fired up.
Yeah, well, that was his Free Will Baptist background.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Free Will Baptists preach like that, especially if
that fire and brimstone bullshit.
Oh yeah, no.
And he had that full stage and everything with the setups that he would use for illustrations.
He was a brilliant theatrical genius. You know, he still is. Well, Rod, that was the year. It was a big year because it was like Israel's 50th anniversary, and the whole church was going crazy at the time. Oh, if this was the Old Testament, it'd be Jubilee when all your debts are canceled. So bring your bills and pray over them, and God will cancel all your debts. That's when the prosperity movement was kind of born, or became a crest. Actually, it began a crescendo. So we went, and it was a week-long endeavor. Well, the crowds, because the church is as like octagonal, and there's entrances. Now they have another brand new church that was built. Now I think that one's like the new youth chapel, whatever. But it used to be this church, and it sat like 5,000 people, whatever.
Yeah, it was huge. It was one of the first mega churches.
Yeah, it was one of the. Vineyard was one of the first ones, and then they started popping up everywhere. So he's there. We're all standing there. The doors are opening, and it was like a mob scene. This one lady, she was carrying she had her baby inside the baby carrier. She was pushed up against the door, and nobody helped her. People fell, and then there were people who were running to get pews close to the front, and they were like throwing Bibles across, going, "No, I claim this whole pew for me and my friends." Like insane.
Wow.
Insane. At one point, at the end of the service, Rod was laying hands on people. I remember this very vividly. And people were, Pentecostals, they buck like a wild horse.
Oh yeah,
when you touch their forehead.
Yeah.
So
fucking crawling around the ground, roaring like lions and bullshit.
So he's touching them, and he finally had to stop and go on them. And he's like, "Stop kicking my shins when I touch you. You don't have to buck on the." Like, he was angry.
Wow.
And he was like, "I'm just touching you," which sounds really weird from a pastor, but I'm just touching you. Speaking of pastor, remember Camden from Seventh Heaven? He has a scandal.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah.
But he was just like, "Stop it. I'm just touching you because you're going to kick my shins raw." It's just...
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up with all that shit, man. That was what I grew up with. Yeah.
It was nuts.
Kenneth Hagin, Kenneth Hammond.
Well, it was Kenneth Hagin. There was Kenneth Copeland.
Kenneth Copeland, that's right. Yeah.
Kenneth Copeland's still alive, but Kenneth Hagin, he had Word of Faith Center over and Word of Faith Bible College in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I remember because I went to Oral Roberts University, and it was right there next door. A lot of people either went to Oral Roberts, they went to Kenneth Hagin School.
Who was the fucking dude who did Wisdom Keys? Mike Murdoch.
Mike Murdoch's creepy.
Yes.
He was on...
He used to come to our church all the time when we were in New Hampshire. Faith Christian Center. It was a huge mega church. And I actually went to school there for the first 3 years.
Oh.
I went to they had Faith Christian Academy. That was where I went to school.
Mike Murdoch creepy. He was on about 3 or 4 years ago. He was on talking about prosperity. And he was talking about how he's friends with this guy. And he was in love. He said he wasn't in love. I don't know. He says, "You ever meet someone you just want to do something for them?" This guy had, at the time, she was this 11-year-old girl that he bought like this brand new like pink covered iPod for. He bought her bicycles. He texted her.
That's called grooming, ladies and gentlemen.
He would let her. He's like, and the way he's talking with his gold ring and his tailor-made suits was very creepy. And I was and people, there was actually a YouTube video with like breaking down how he's talking about this on live TV, and they were like, "This is called grooming." Like, this is creepy. You're texting with a girl who texts you back and says, "I miss you. I wish you were here."
Right. Yeah. She's 11.
At the time, she was 11.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, at the time she was 11.
That's not going to end well.
No, it isn't. Well, there are a lot of people who've been, like Robert Thearden had a gay scandal. Paul Crouch, he's dead now, but he was in the middle of a gay scandal, which is disgusting because the man was just old. But
they're like, the people who speak out the most about gays are the people that are most likely to be involved in a gay scandal.
Oh yeah, no. What is it though? The sin you preach the loudest about is the one you're actually doing.
What's it? What Ted?
Ted Haggard.
Ted Haggard. Yeah,
he looked haggardly. He was. Yeah, no. He
wasn't he doing meth too with the?
He
was
doing. Yeah, he had a gay prostitute, and he was doing meth with them. He was actually caught with quite a few. Quite a weight of meth actually in his backpack. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, do you know who Carmen is? Of course, you know who. Carmen
I know
is.
who. Oh, come on! If you grew up in the Christian church, you knew who Carmen was.
Yeah. Do you know about his whole fake cancer scare? Right.
Yes.
It was so fake.
Yeah.
And I'm healed. Like, he had to switch doctors a few different times because of different things. Oh, that's convenient. So we won't be able to get records from we wouldn't be able to get records from anywhere. That fucking, he went to, I'm going to try homeotherapy, blah, blah, blah. Oh, keep praying for me. Oh, it's healed just in time to go on my new tour and put out the album that I did the Kickstarter for shortly after I announced I had cancer.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, I was gonna say, Carmen, he was really big in the 90s and early 2000s, and then
I used to look up to that guy.
Yeah, his popularity waned, and then there's all these new Christian artists that are coming up, and some of them aren't even Christian. But Carmen now, it's like he's trying to do a comeback tour. So yeah, what's the best way to do that? Get sick and claim you're healed.
I know somebody who used to be deep in Carmen's camp, like one of Carmen's best friends. And he has obviously all the other Carmen contacts, and they were in touch with each other. And the consensus among people who used to know Carmen, who used to be really close to him and whatnot, and people who still were in touch with him, this was bullshit.
Yeah.
Complete and total bullshit. Like, said he was places when he was other places. Said he was one place getting treatment when people knew for a fact that he was somewhere else.
Yeah.
And just all kinds of, it was clearly bullshit. Like, I'm not going to say who my friend was because I don't want to implicate anybody in anything.
Yeah.
But it was total bullshit.
No, it's true.
It's really sad because I can't tell you how much I used to look up to him. Like, I wrote him a letter when I was younger, and they sent a letter back with a signed picture and a signed Carmen Yo Kids tape. Yeah. Like, that was my youth. Yeah. And to see that happen was just really fucking sad. Yeah. That he would stoop so low and that he would, like, I really didn't think he would be one to do that. Well, I realized he was kind of slimy, but come on.
Yeah. Well, the older, I began to, as I studied more Pentecostal history and church history, I began to realize that Pentecostalism scandals are not mutually exclusive. They're almost like bedfellows. Yeah.
Because they fucking hide everything.
They do.
When shit happens, it's not, they don't address it. They just sweep it under the rug and keep moving.
They do. And it's crazy because, I loved Carmen. I loved his music. Loved it. I just thought he was great. And there were a lot of people like that growing up. And then as I began to do research, and there was the PTL scandal, and with Jim Baker, and then there was Jimmy Swaggart, and then before that there were other scandals. There was A. Allen who died of alcoholism. There was Amy Semple McPherson who pretended to be kidnapped for a few days while she was actually having an affair with one of the guys in her church, and she said that the KKK kidnapped her and wrote this ransom note when it wasn't really true.
Wow.
Yeah. Just stuff like that it's crazy.
I know shit that happened in a former church that I used to go to that they swept under the rug and they victim blamed. That would make it was disgusting. Absolutely.
Oh
disgusting.
Yeah. No, I remember the week that I had been raped when I was 16 years old, and I told one of the people in the church then they told one of the ministers, and the minister was like, "Well, you need to tell your mom," and I was like, "Well, I'm kind of scared to." Now there's training now to go along when a child or someone underage says, "Look, I've been violated." There's training. There's professionals that go along when you have to tell your parents because it's a very traumatic event. Well, the guy, the minister was like, "Well, if you don't tell your mom, I will."
Huh.
So that scared me. So I had to tell my mom that night, and my mom freaked. And she was like, I can't believe you didn't fight him off. So
wow.
Yeah, so that Friday night, I had to go in and see my pastor and his wife. And in front of my mother, I had to tell them in detail what happened. Well, you're not supposed to do that, number one.
Right.
Number two, he told me, this is what my pastor said to me at the time. He goes, if God was with you, he would have told you not to go that way. What did you do wrong that you went that way?
Are you fucking serious?
No, this is exactly what happened. So now it was my fault.
Right. Clearly.
It was my fault that I must have done something to offend God and, brought it on myself. So what did he do? I was subjected that night to an exorcism ceremony.
Are you an exorcism ceremony?
It was me. I was subjected to it. My mom ended up going to the guy's house because they knew who it was and gave him a Christian tract saying you need to repent. So I was punished while the guy was given a tract and never spoke of it again, right? That Sunday morning in the church, the pastor used me as an example of people who pretend that they're holy but are actually gay.
Are you serious?
Oh, he was notorious for that. He'd call you, he'd be like, and it was just the most embarrassing thing ever.
Did he like call you by name?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's like, you have to understand, he goes, and then he was standing up and he goes, for example, Lewis over here, his heart may be like a diamond, but he's got a little coal of homosexuality in him in front of the church. Yep. That's what I had to deal with that whole week. I was like, oh my God. It was terrible.
How are you not more fucking traumatized than you are?
I don't know. I guess I dealt with the shit as I got older. But anyway, so, it was one of those where it was like, it messes with you, obviously. And so I understand when people feel attacked and victim blamed. Not that I believe every accusation of rape or abuse. I don't. That's the one thing. It's just because it happened. It doesn't always mean it's happening. But so I kind of take things, show me evidence. I feel bad, but you kind of it's complicated. I guess we'll say that for another show. But no, but I absolutely do not believe in victim blaming. I don't care what happened. It's not the victim's fault. It's the perpetrator. But I've been in that situation where I was the one who was punished for that. And the other guy was like, no, give him a track, pray for him. Hopefully he'll get right with God.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. No, that's what I had to deal with. So I think that started really to get me to really dig into what I was following at the time. And I was like, let me look more into this stuff. And the more I did, I was like, nah.
Did I ever tell you the story about when I was really young, when I was at Faith Christian Center and I was in kids' church?
Which one? Because I think there are a couple.
The one where he walked down the line and laid hands on us?
No, you didn't tell me that one.
So we were all in kids' church, and the pastor, I was sick at the time. I had like a cold or something. Okay. And he was asking if anybody, had anything they wanted to be prayed over.
Right.
So it's all little kids, so it's all little kid stuff. And so I went up, and he's walking down the line, and he's laying hands on each of the kids, and he's praying over them on their head, and they're all going down.
Right.
Of course, they see their parents go down.
Yeah, they're going to copy it. Yeah.
He gets up to me, and puts his hand on my head, and he's fucking pushing. And I didn't move. I stood there. He was pushing. I didn't fucking move. So my mom was helping with kids' church at the time. She was in the back of the room. So at the end, after he was done praying, I went back and I said to my mom, he was pushing us. She goes, what? I said, he was pushing. And later on, he goes, so when I was praying over everybody, did anybody feel like I was pushing them? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, well, see, here's what happens. Sometimes the Holy Spirit comes into my arm, and he just needs my help a little bit. So I push. I give that Holy Spirit a little help. I push it a little bit.
I love it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you can't be serious. The Holy Spirit needs help.
Well, don't you know? He has no hands.
He's the guy that should have the exorcism ceremony. He's clearly been possessed by the Holy Spirit.
It's like a paraplegic needs to be masturbated, Josh. He has no hands.
Oh my god.
He needs a little push.
You are worse than Rob, you fuck. It's on the fucking armless retards on top of your bullshit. I can't deal with it.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, come on, use me.
One or the other. One or the other. Toss your salad jokes or armless retard jokes. Choose your poison. You can't have both.
I'm a very complicated person, Josh. I like to be well-rounded like your cheeks.
They are well-rounded. I do have a fantastic ass.
I know, yeah. It's good.
You've never fucking seen it.
You've bent over behind me. I've seen your crack, sir. Anyway, so I guess when they push. I'm surprised he didn't grab your crotch and try and push. Oh, there was this one guy in my church. He had
that happened a few years before.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. The Holy Spirit needs my help for your penis.
No, it wasn't a pastor.
Oh, okay. The Holy Spirit still wanted to touch you. He wanted to bless your wafer. He wanted some communion, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So there was this one guy in the church. He walked up and he had a really bad toothache, and he had to get a pool. Well, he went up for prayer first. He didn't tell the pastor because it was like, don't tell me. So that way he can.
The pastor punched him in the jaw.
No, he didn't punch him. No, he didn't do a Smith Wigglesworth on him. No, he didn't punch him. What he ended up doing was he walks up and he's like, in the name of Jesus. And he went to go touch him in the forehead, but he touches his face right where he was hurting. Mm-hmm. And the guy fell down in pain. And he's like, oh. And he falls down and he's rolling on the floor. And the pastor's like, that's right. The Lord's healing him. He had no idea.
That's just like with Benny Hinn. The people who would get up out of the chairs and walk, they actually ended up being worse most of the time.
Well, because it's that mob mentality at that moment where, everybody, you feel
their
good.
Adrenaline.
So, it's the adrenaline rush. Mm-hmm. So you get up, but they wouldn't allow you to get up there. There was this one woman where she wanted to have him pray for her. Mm-hmm. She was still in her wheelchair. And sometimes the ushers with who are like security guards, they're rough.
Yeah.
They're
fucking bouncers.
Yeah. So the husband's wheeling her up,
mm-hmm.
and the guy's like screaming at her and going, like they always do, is she healed? Does she need to be up there? And take out, get up and put her wheelchair over here. So, and the husband's like, no. He wants her, him to pray for her. So that, and the guy just totally rejected them and was like, no, turn around. This is only if. And a lot of times they were saying how a lot of people, it was just unusual the amount of wheelchairs that were on there. Then they came to find out that a lot of people who walk in, they would give them wheelchairs there if you felt like you couldn't walk or you were hurting. Mm-hmm. So you didn't even have to have a wheelchair. They provided you one.
Yep.
I
wonder how much of a wheelchair fund Benny Hinn had.
Yeah, I wonder about that too.
You know who I used to love to listen to, and I'm sure you know who this is. Bob Larson.
Are you kidding me? Bob Larson. I used to write him.
Did you really?
I used to have his books. As a matter of fact, I still have one of his books, Abaddon. It's a fiction book.
His book Dead Air is one of the worst books of all time.
Are you kidding me? I mean, he rode right on that 80s SRA, satanic ritual abuse wave.
He was just that was one of the things that originally really got me into radio. Like that I would listen to that and it would give me nightmares. Like the exorcism tapes that he would play were fucking phenomenal. And listening back to him now, it's like that was a fucking actor. Like you can tell him, but fucking 7-year-old me had no idea. I thought fucking demons were coming out of these people.
He was my because obviously we weren't allowed to watch horror growing up. He was like my horror guilt trip that I would watch on TBN or listen because he had like a late night TBN show. And then parents complained. They were like, because he was on like at 10 o'clock at night. And parents were like, well, I don't want my child watching this. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, what is your kid doing up at 10 o'clock at night anyway, watching TBN, quote unquote. So they ended up moving him to like midnight or like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
But
that was my horror radio. And then Chick Tracks were my horror comic.
Oh, Chick Tracks. Those things are heartless.
Yeah, we used to go to the Christian bookstore all the time. And I would sit in the corner and they had a chick tract display.
Yeah.
I would sit in the corner and just read all the chick tracts.
Yeah.
Oh,
We used to pass them out because my mom's best friend at the time down south,
they're just shy of Westboro.
Yeah,
They
really are.
just shy of Westboro.
I mean, first of all, like the guy, we don't know if he exists or not because there's like, even on the Wikipedia page, all anyone has ever had is a face drawing. Nobody knows who Jack Chick actually is.
Really?
Yeah, nobody. People have said, "Oh yeah, you know, he's that." People don't know if it's one person, if it's five.
Like fucking William Shakespeare.
Yeah, they have no idea, and yeah, because no photo, no certificate, nothing is in circulation that shows that he exists. And so they think it's been a ruse for years that it's just, you know, a group of people together. But yeah, some of the stuff, like, it was addicting. It was like my comic addicts, you know, like I would sit there and read them.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to have like this whole collection, and all I would do was just sit there and read them just to feed that comic urge, just because I wanted something to read. Yeah,
I wasn't allowed to read comics either.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to read comics.
So they were too violent. So
Yeah.
I wasn't. So that would be what I would read, and those things were far more morbid than anything else I could have gotten at the comic shop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those things were warped. Those things warped me. The Bob Larson and the chick tracts.
Yeah,
definitely.
There was also I still have the book. There was a guy out named Bill Schnoebelen.
Okay.
And he wrote some books, a series of books, and he claimed to be like a Mason, a Wiccan. He claimed to be like a whole bunch of stuff, like back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his first books that he wrote and published is called Lucifer Dethroned. I still have that book, and it was supposedly his journey into the occult, which is full of bullshit. I mean, the whole thing is bullshit. But anyway, and he wrote other books like Wicca, Satan's Little White Lie, Freemasonry, and Mormonism and stuff. And he claimed to be all of these things. And Lucifer Dethroned was like my gothic horror novel of choice at the time.
Yeah.
Because he talked about in there about how not only was he involved in this or that, but he would talk about how, you know, him and his coven would try to raise the old ones from Lovecraft, and they would visit they had dreams of tentacles and stuff.
Yeah.
And how he was involved in vampirism in the late 70s and some of the
like Mike Warnke.
Yeah. And he was, I mean, when you read this book, it's bullshit, but it's good gothic horror.
Yeah.
So I would read that book. I mean, it's literally coming across in pages, and my mom would be like, "Oh yeah, you know, you're reading about it." I'm like, "Yes, I am." And I'd be sitting there feeding my gothic horror addiction. I still read it for like shits and giggles now. It's so good.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so good.
That kind of shit is just great. We'll talk about Stephen Collins next week. Hopefully by next week I'll have all the equipment that I need to be able to like do audio and whatnot.
Okay.
So we'll have like the opening, and we'll be able to play audio clips and whatnot. So we'll be able to play the audio of this. Apparently he's been caught on tape in a therapy session.
Yes.
Admitting to molestation.
Yeah, it was his ex-wife, I think, who was the therapist.
Yep. No.
She was in there with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like a confession thing.
Yeah.
Like the therapist had him confess everything to his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And she was recording it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we could talk about the legality and privacy of that all day, but the fact of the matter is this shit happened.
Yeah, no, he admitted it. Which makes me wonder about the kids who were on the show.
Yeah. I don't know.
And it's great fodder.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about that, my husband and I was like, well, of course he did. He's a pastor. Or he was a pastor. Of course he touched kids.
He played a pastor,
He played a pastor.
And then
it's not complete until you touch somebody.
One of my friends said it was just method acting.
Yeah. Yeah. He was just trying to stay in character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually, that might be a great defense.
So we'll talk about that next week. We'll play the audio, hopefully. And
okay.
So we'll be back here next week. Thank you for listening once again. Listen to us live Saturday 9 to 11 if you're listening to this any other time. 9 to 11 Eastern time, so 6 to 8 Pacific. You can find us online, facebook.com/Untitled Nonsense, twitter.com/UN_podcast, untitlednonsense.com. And once again, we're doing the drive for South Brevard Sharing Center. You can donate at disturbedetective17@gmail.com for the PayPal. And if we raise $500, Lewis will give me a massage cheeks included.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it. Don't fail me, people.
Join us again next week for more Angel Shooter and more of all that we do here at Untitled Nonsense. Want to say goodnight, Lewis?
Good night, folks. Thanks for listening, for your support as always.
Thank you for joining us. John will be back next week as well. See you then.